Unit 3 Poem All the World's a Stage from As You Like It, written by William Shakespeare. About the author William Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616, was a prolific writer during the Elizabethan and Jacobean ages of British theatre, sometimes called the English Renaissance. Shakespeare's plays are perhaps his most enduring legacy, but they are not the only things he wrote. Shakespeare's poems remain popular to this day. Shakespeare's rich and diverse works have spawned countless adaptations across multiple genres and cultures. His writings have been compiled in various iterations of the complete works of William Shakespeare, which include all his plays, sonnets, and other poems. William Shakespeare continues to be one of the most important literary figures of the English language. First, listen to a reading of the complete poem. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, shying like Farnas, with a awful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier full of strange oaths and bearded like the part, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good cap unlined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble pipes and whistles in his sound, lost sin of all, that ends this strange eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Summary of the poem. Shakespeare considers the whole world a stage where men and women are only actors. They enter the stage when they are born and exist when they die. Every man during his lifetime plays 7 roles based on age. As an infant, he is wholly dependent on the mother or a nurse in the first act. Later, emerging as a school child, he slings his bag over his shoulder and creeps most reluctantly to school. His next act is that of a lover, busy composing ballads for his beloved and yearns for her attention. In the fourth stage, he is aggressive and ambitious and seeks reputation in all that he does. He promises solemnly to guard his country and becomes a soldier. As he grows older, with maturity and wisdom, he becomes a fair judge During this stage, he is firm and serious. In the sixth act, he is seen as a thin old man with loose pantaloons and spectacles. His manly voice changes into a childish treble. The last scene of all is his second childhood. Slowly, he loses his faculties of sight, hearing, smell, and taste, and he exists from the role of his life. Let us read the poem lines again and answer the comprehension questions. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. Time means lifetime. Parts here means characters. Ages here means period of time. What is the world compared to? The world is compared to a stage of a theatre, and they have their exits and their entrances. What do the words exits and entrances mean? The exits are deaths and entrances are births. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Mewling means a small, weak noise that a cat makes. Puking means vomiting. What is the first stage of a human's life? The first stage of a human's life is an infant who is wholly dependent on his mother or nurse. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face creeping like snail unwillingly to school. Whining means expressing unhappiness. Creeping means walking slowly. Satchel means a shoulder bag. Describe the second stage of life as depicted by Shakespeare. The second stage is a schoolboy who slings his bag over his shoulder and slowly moves like a snail to school. He is reluctant to go to school. And then the lover, shying like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Furnace means place where fire is made. Woeful means unhappy. How does a man play a lover's role? The lover is busy composing ballads for his beloved and yearns for her attention. Then a soldier full of strange oaths and bearded like the part, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. Oaths means promises. Purd means a large cat such as a leopard. Line 13. The phrase jealous in honor means the young man takes great care of his honor, his reputation as a good man. The phrase sudden and quick in quarrel means quarrel is a slightly old-fashioned word for an argument. Sudden here means unpredictable. So, in an argument, this young man might suddenly become violent. Line 14. Seeking the bubble reputation. A bubble is empty. So by seeking the bubble reputation, Shakespeare means a short-lived glory. Line 15. Even in the cannon's mouth. A cannon, large gun, and its mouth was at the front. So the man seeks his reputation even if it means standing in front of guns. Bring out the features of the fourth stage, a man as described by the poet. The fourth stage is a soldier who is aggressive and ambitious. He seeks fame, though it is temporary and short-lived. He promises solemnly to guard his country. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good capon lined, with eyes severe, and beard of formal cut, full of voice saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. Justice means a judge, someone very respected. Saws means sayings. Line 16, the phrase capon lined. To line means to fill something at the edges. Here, the man was fat from eating good chicken. When does a man become a judge? How? When man grows older, he becomes a judge with maturity and wisdom. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful horse well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again towards childish treble pipes and whistles in his sound. Hose means tights, thin trousers that men wore in Shakespeare's time. A world too wide means much too big. Pipes means a high sound. The phrase lean and slippered pantaloon describes a thin old man. In line 23, in the phrase shrunk shank, to shrink means to grow smaller, and a shank is a piece of meat cut from a leg of an animal. So, man's legs have grown narrower with age. Treble. A treble is the higher part of a piece of music. So, Shakespeare is referring to a boy's high-pitched voice. Which stage of man's life is associated with the shrunk shank? The sixth stage of man's life is associated with the shrunk shank. Lost sin of all that ends this strange eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Second childishness means being like a child again. Sans means without. Oblivion. If someone is oblivious, he or she doesn't know what is happening around him or her. And if he or she lives in oblivion, he or she is completely forgotten by other people. Why is the lost stage called second childhood? The lost stage is called a second childhood because the old man becomes like a child. He loses his teeth, vision, taste, and smell. He needs care similar to that of a child. Thank you for watching.